With President Biden facing a tight race for re-election, many Democrats are sounding the alarm. But one blue state governor has a different message. California Governor Gavin Newsom has been campaigning for Biden across the country, and he says Democrats can stop panicking. I asked Newsom about Biden's plans to beat Donald Trump and whether he believes the fever dream of MAGA world about Taylor Swift is right, that she's Biden's secret weapon. Why is this election close?
Because we're a divided nation. It's going to be close. The point of the campaign is to tout your record. And when you look at the CHIPS and Science Act, the PACT Act, the SAVE Act, you look at Safer Communities Act, you look at the work you did on the debt deal, you look at all the work that's been done on the green energy and the IRA, everything that this administration accomplished in just 3 years, all those individual issues are very popular with the American people. What the campaign should be about is lifting those issues up and driving contrast against the most flawed candidate in our lifetime by the name of Donald Trump. I like our chances. And so that's where we go out. Performance versus perception. You mind that gap. That's what a campaign's about. That's why I'm out on the campaign trail for the Biden administration. And that's why we all should be very proud to support this incumbent president and vice president.
But there's so many Democrats out there whose hair collectively are on fire. He's too old. The polls are too close. Maybe we should get somebody else. Make the case for why they should. Those folks should stand down.
Let's get out there then. You're going to just you're going to fall in a corner and, wallow away in grief and misery. I mean, you go globally. Everybody marvels about the success and the resiliency of the United States of America. I mean, this nation is back. So we need to restore that sense of pride and spirit. That's not a legislative package. What we need to do, I think, is make the case anew with passion and conviction and move away from this hand-wringing nonsense you just brought up.
Okay, so policies are great, but as you well know, as someone who has run for office multiple times, including in this one term as governor.
I've had 3 elections in 4 years. So thank you to the recall.
Right, but as you know, elections are sometimes decided on emotion rather than concrete policies. And right now, it seems like culture war stuff, so-called culture wars, are driving people to extremes. So you mentioned it earlier, rolling back the teaching of history, putting targets on the backs of LGBTQ kids with "Don't Say Gay" bills. What is the effective message to push back against?
How about have a message that's offensive, not just defensive? We've been on the defense too long. CRT, ESG, DEI. I joke, it's everything with 3 letters. DOJ, FBI, IRS. And we're constantly on the receiving end of that. Look, one thing I've learned from the propaganda networks out there, facts don't matter. Illusion rules. It's who dominates the narrative. What's Trump's success in this primary? It's about dominating the narrative. Flood the zone. When the courtroom is a campaign stop, you're flooding the zone. DeSantis said it himself. Says, it's hard to get any attention out here. So what Democrats need to do is we need to flood the zone. See, the benefit we have the facts. They don't. We have the policies. They don't. We have the record. They don't. They have rhetoric. They're obstructionists. The reason you're on a cultural purge, Republican Party, is you don't have an agenda for unifying this nation. The Democratic Party should be dominating right now. It's time to get back on the offensive and start to feel good again. How about a little joy? And I just think more of us should get out and feel proud to make the case and not feel defensive and timid about making the case when we have a great case to make.
So in response to my culture answer, you gave me we have this and they have that. We have this and they have that. One thing you didn't mention was we have Taylor Swift and they have lost their minds. What do you make of the mania among the right wing about Taylor Swift and her boyfriend Travis Kelce and the conspiracy theories? Just please help me understand.
I found my name in a few of those conspiracy theories as well. I mean, we are, as they say, we are living in interesting times. That said, the Republicans that are looking down and past Taylor Swift do so at their own peril. What is her sin? What is her sin? She wants more people to vote. She wants to help people register to vote and remind them the importance of expressing their democratic rights and responsibilities. Wow. And that says everything you need to know about the Republican Party. They don't want people to vote. They want to make it harder because they can't win if you vote. How sad and pathetic the Republican Party have become, that Taylor Swift literally is a threat to them for one reason. She wants folks to turn out and vote.
You know, I don't think she's ever been in this kind of spotlight in a career that has been spent in the spotlight, the political spotlight, the conspiratorial spotlight. If you had an opportunity to talk with Taylor Swift, what would you tell her about how to navigate this?
I'm not telling Taylor Swift anything. I'm in awe of her resiliency. She's a remarkable person. Politicians should be learning about that example. I'm not worried about her capacity to weather these rather weak storm systems coming in from Jesse Waters and a few others.
Her boyfriend is on the rival team.
Yeah, no, that's the real issue.
So now
we're having a real conversation.
All right, so let's
they're
go
on
there.
the wrong team. I mean, that's the deeper problem. But, you know, beyond, that's on the political field. We're all in this together, life. But no, when it comes to the 49ers beating Kansas City handily and righting the wrongs of a few years ago when we fell short in that second half in Miami, I'm looking forward. But as I say, Travis and Taylor are resilient. They'll both recover from their loss, the Super Bowl.